Hey guys, and welcome back to Air. So I might have to cut off this part in just a tiny little bit, but we shall be back. So Kano looked at me. Both her hands were placed neatly in front of her slender body. Then she slowly closed her eyes. I touched Kano's left cheek with my hand. She felt warm. I touched her right cheek with my lips. Kano interlocked her left hand with mine, as if to ascertain the distance between us. Our lips met. Then we separated. Kano opened her eyes slightly and looking at the nape of my neck. You still have your scar. It's not that visible anymore, is it? Does it hurt? Not at all. But... I suppressed her speech with another kiss. I lifted Kano's body. She was surprisingly light. I laid Kano down on the bed, took off my shirt and threw it to one side. Whoa! I thought she looked terribly cute when she tried to look away. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're back now. It's August 3rd. Damn, the wind blew over the range. Oh, so pretty. The sky was golden. Something floated down from the heavens. It was a fragment of happiness. It was shown as a white light. It spun and twirled, so I reached out to it. I had planned to hand it over to the person I treasured the most. Sorry if you can hear the wind outside, it's very windy today. What one wished for. A tiny bit of happiness. It was happiness that could be found anywhere. So... Oh no, her sister's gonna kill us. This is Kano's room. The curtain was drawn open and the morning sun slanted in from the window. I felt like I had a dream, but I couldn't remember it. When I tried to get up, I felt that something was wrong. Something was missing. Something important. Kano? I looked around me. Kano's clothes that had been strewn over the floor were missing. The bandana wasn't there either. A white light illuminated the floor. My puppet was left right in the middle of it. I looked up. The window had been opened slightly. Fresh breeze blew in. Beyond that, the summer sky went on forever, as if it were meant to be. Kano! I jumped out of bed. Just as I was going to put on my clothes, I noticed something more important. My clothes were missing. Only my puppet was here. My boxers weren't here either. Am I stark naked? I looked down at myself. Bingo. There was a knock on the door. Yukito-kun, I'm coming in. I heard Kano's carefree voice. Was striking a pose naked with both hands on my waist. Doorknob turned. The door opened without mercy. Can you stop, lagging, please? I'm in deep shit. My last resort. Yeah! Kano-rin is a pervert! The one who cries foul first wins. Whoa, don't be so loud! You'll be in trouble if my sister finds you like this. You'll get dissected. I shut up immediately. Is Hijiri back? I whispered to her and she nodded. She came back early this morning. That meant she didn't know about what happened last night. I stroked my chest to calm myself. Oh yeah, where are my clothes? They're being washed right now. So, wear these until they're dry. She handed me some neatly folded clothes. I'm surprised you have menswear in your house. We still have our dad's clothes. I decided not to think too much about it and put on the clothes. Look at this t-shirt! I chose it because I think it looks good on you. Kano smiled, pleased with herself. It's a bit small, though. I quickly put on the t-shirt Kano chose for me. It was a bit too short, but beggars couldn't be choosers. Yukito-kun, that looks really great on you. Really? I glanced downwards excitedly to see what it looked like. Doorway to X was printed on my chest. Oh no! Morning, Kunisaki-kun. What's wrong? You look like someone stole your sweet roll. Hijiri had joined in. Anyway, how many shirts like this do they have? I'm going to sprinkle water. I headed for the doorway. Kurosaki-kun. Hichiri stopped me. She sounded more than usual. I'm a doctor as well as Kano's sister. Because of that, there's something I'd like to ask you. Do you get me? I had no choice but to nod. Last night, did you eat the dinner Kano made? I ate it. How was it? I thought I was gonna die. Is that so? Oh, my bad. I guess I was getting a bit too serious. If you need an operation, just tell me. Of course, you don't need to pay. I'm just doing my part as a doctor. How about you teach your sister how to cook first? To apologize for what happened, I'll make you a feast for Plantain. What's on the menu? Red rice. In glorious Japan, this food is used to celebrate occasions ranging from New Year's to popping a cherry. The joke was so direct that I didn't feel like laughing. Oh no! Don't you get it? I want to give you two my blessing. Oh my god. She whipped out her 4 scalpels all of a sudden. Just kidding. How about you put away your scalpels first? Oh, right. She returned her coat pockets. It looks like it's a hot day today. Sprinkle more water. She turned her back towards me and swiftly walked away. The door to the examination room opened. I know I can count on you. I knew she didn't mean it. I did my usual chores in the morning. I sprinkled water at the doorstep and picked up the trash at the bicycle parking lot. After mopping the floor, I wiped all the... I removed the sign that said closed for today from the door. After that, I lazed around in the examination room. As usual, no customer came. Delicious anyway. After that, tea was served. Hey, Yukito-kun! Kano put down her teacup and asked me, Are you free in the afternoon? Free? Yep, let's go somewhere. I thought I heard the same thing yesterday. I ignored Hijiri's muttering and answered Kano. Yeah, okay, no problem. I'm off duty in the afternoon. Off duty? Yeah. Why? It's to reward me for working hard. It's a special leave. Of course, it's paid leave. Sorry, I was kidding. I don't mind if I don't get paid. I'll work hard from tomorrow onwards. Alright. In return, I'm going to make you work every day. Yes, ma'am. I saluted her. Then I turned to Kana. So, what are we going to do today? Let's go take a stroll. Isn't that the same as always? What's so bad about that? She grinned. I'll be back. Don't come back too late. It was their usual exchange. I started walking. The sun was blazing. The town wavered in the heat rising from the asphalt. It was a midsummer afternoon. Now was possibly the worst time to be taking a stroll. Kano suddenly stopped in her tracks. She turned her hair bobbing. What are you looking at? My house is starting to look old. It was a tiny clinic in a countryside town. A parking lot with no bicycles. A glass door with a worn knob. Light danced on the wall with flaking white paint. It couldn't be called beautiful even out of courtesy. Just rebuild it. We don't have the money. Kano laughed as she looked upwards. Above the gently sloping corrugated steel roof lay the clear blue summer sky. Besides, I want my house to remain like this. I want it to look the way it was when my parents were still here. but apparently it was nothing. Let's go. We walked side by side along the footpath. It was a road we had walked down so many times, I remembered the names of most of the stores by heart. Perhaps I should say there were too few stores in this area. We reached the edge of town in no time. The cicadas are really loud. I listened carefully. A repetitive cry could be heard from the trees in the garden nearby. It's the same as always. It's the same, but it's really loud today. You're contradicting yourself. Kano looked almost like a child as she brooded over it. For everything to be the same as always, perhaps there was something special about that in itself, or that's what I thought. Summer really is nice. I feel like I can go. Here again. Yup, we're here again. It was so much cooler here. I rested both arms on the arch. We walked by. That was enough to make Kano happy. Aren't there more interesting places in this town? There are. For example? For example, never mind, I shouldn't have asked. Kano was still thinking about it. She looked annoyed for not being able to list any examples. Suddenly, her face lit up. Oh, I got it! There's a summer festival at the shrine next Sunday. Well, I seldom go to the festival, she added. Our next stroll, that was only if Hijibi would let me. I could buy something for her if I could get some advance wage. I could also try doing my puppet performance again. After pondering for a while, I realized that Kano had fallen silent. What's wrong? Yukito-kun, you'll be here until the end of next week, right? Yeah, I will. Oh, I see. She mumbled to herself. We couldn't find anything to say again. The blazing sunlight and the sound of the flowing river enveloped us. Say, Yukito-kun, I have a favor to ask of you. Will you listen? As long as it's within my means. You... She hesitated. I want to see you move your puppet. What? That's all? Yeah, that's all. All right. I retrieved the puppet that was stuffed in my pocket. It looked almost as though it was mad at me because I haven't touched it in a while. I placed my puppet on the ground and infused my will into it. The puppet started tottering on the narrow bridge. I had never been in better form. I decided to make my puppet walk to the opposite side of the bridge for starters. The puppet turned around and dashed towards us. It performed a triple flip in the air. A perfect landing. Bravo! It was a captivating performance. I looked at my audience. She didn't look the least bit moved by it. She poked at the puppet with her index finger. Hey, miss, please don't touch our dancer. But it's so mysterious. She waved an outstretched arm at the puppet as if to cut any string that might be there. I told you many times there's no string. Naturally, I'm not sending it any electrical signals. It's not solar powered either. This is real magic. That's right. It's real magic. I told her that. Kano smiled. It seemed to me that she had wanted to hear me say that personally. So I infused my will into it, this time more gently. Under the summer sun, the worn-out puppet spun and danced. It looked like magic even to me. Suddenly, Kano spoke up. I wonder what it's for. What? I meant your magic. Well, my magic is for moving my puppet, of course. No, I mean the true reason. To let me make a living with a puppet. That's not what I meant. I didn't even know the reason myself. This power felt like second nature to me. It was power that was passed from parent to child. I'd never thought about what purpose it served. Kana, who had been squatting down, stood up. Whew. She perched herself precariously on the guardrail. You'll fall off again. It's okay, I won't. She looked into the distance. The multi-layered tower of clouds shone like a completely different world. Magic exists to make people happy. It would be great if that was true. She tilted her head and looked at me with playful eyes. She clasped both hands together and raised them towards the sky. Her bandana fluttered. It looked as if it had always been there. "Oh, that's right!" Kano shouted all of a sudden. "I was supposed to feed the animals today." "The rabbits?" "The birds and the goldfish, too." "They won't die without food for one day." "You won't die from that, but they will." She sounded displeased. Is it all right to go without your uniform?" "It's summer vacation. We can wear anything." "I thought I heard something that implied the complete opposite a while back." Whew. She got off the guardrail and landed on her feet. I'll get going first." "Okay, here." "Oh yeah, your clothes are in my room." "Got it." "All right, well, I'll see you later." She waved. Aww. Then Kano ran off. Her silhouette shimmered in the heat, and finally she disappeared. The sun was still high in the sky. I decided to kill time until dinner. It was also something I needed to think about. I picked up my puppet and started walking at a snail's pace. I walked down roads I had never trodden on, without a destination in mind. Before I knew it, I had reached the sea. The sea breeze blew right into my face. I walked down the winding path while listening to the sound of the waves. Finally, I reached the bus stop. There was an old wooden bench. The sunflowers took in the full extent of the afternoon sunlight. This was the place I got off when I first arrived. The place where summer began for me. There was no one else here. The vintage signboards looked as if they had forgotten their purpose. I sat down on the green bench. I hadn't planned to overstay. I hadn't planned to stay in this town for so long. I had planned to move to a bigger town when I had earned enough for my traveling expenses. In truth, I had no need for traveling expenses. I could just leave this town on foot. The reason I hadn't done so was... I looked at the sky again. Its deep blue could almost suck me in. And on the ground the sunflowers paraded in their vivid yellow. I recalled what happened. That sweaty summer night. That slender wrist with the bandana taken off. There was no magic at all. Kano's smile still remained. Perhaps I had worried too much. Perhaps I wasn't needed anymore. However, if I were still allowed to remain here... A sparkle of light appeared on the road in the distance. The bus was here. It was an old bus that looked as if it'd break down any minute now. It came to a stop in front of the sign. The door opened. The middle-aged driver at the chest area of my shirt. "Young man, are you from Osaka?" You know, that's not right to judge a person by his appearance. Someone might look like he's from Kansai to you, but deep down, he might be an upholder of justice. Of course, the opposite can also be true. Or he might fall somewhere in the middle. Sure are weird. I'm only weird on the outside. Alright, who said that? I'm sorry, I really am from Osaka. I see, you're on a long trip. So what now? Huh? Are you getting on or not? No, we're not getting on. I'm not going. I've decided to live here, I answered him. To travel is to be in my comfort zone. On the contrary, a sedentary life is a new adventure to me. If I have the courage, I'm sure this town will accept me. That was how I felt. I see. This is quite a town, isn't it? Yep, it is. If you ever want to take a bus again, just call me. Okay, I'll remember that. Take care. You too. The bus left, leaving behind a cloud of exhaust. That was a driver who understood what it meant to be a man. If I ever needed a bus, I'd definitely name him. I stretched myself in the afternoon sun. I had decided to return. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys, so if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!